Welcome back to the Fairy Fountain Podcast. I am your host, Hylian Hero, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host Slime. We're here
Hello.
to talk about every we're here to talk about everything that happened in June leading up to E3, after E3, and obviously our big topic will be the Nintendo E3 Direct and everything that got announced alongside it. As usual, you can find us anywhere that you can find podcasts and on YouTube on the Crazy Cap Production
Studios,
Studios.
studios,
Studios.
studios.
There we go.
And don't forget to
All
join
right,
our
Slime.
Discord. Don't forget to join our Discord
Do
as well
it.
because if you like talking about video games just as much as us, we would be glad to have you as a guest on our show. So,
Always join us. All right. So
join our cult. Everyone wears a hat. Oh wait, we're not even wearing hats.
what?
Every single episode in my in the not old series in the Crazy Cap podcast, I always wear a hat, but I haven't worn a hat in a long time because of this. Everyone keeps calling this a squirrel.
Oh, damn. I didn't. Yes. I was gonna say I didn't know we had a dress code.
No, I mean
No,
yes, technically, but I really don't care. I mean, the Crazy
hats aren't
Cap
my thing.
was
You would
yeah.
not want to see me wearing one of those. But all right, where should we begin? Should we talk about Sega's crazy concept for an amusement park?
Yeah, I haven't really looked too much into this, but I just saw it because I was looking through what happened in June, and I just saw this, and I thought it was interesting, and it just kind of sounds like they're just trying to compete with Nintendo for some reason because of the
I think it's
Universal
a
thing.
stupid idea. They don't have enough strong IPs. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
They've got
I
Sonic.
mean, I mean, like the only two things I can think of is like a Yakuza land, to which you just go to Japan for that.
Yakuza, Sonic, Monkey Ball,
Mm.
Knights, if they want to bring that back.
I mean honestly, what I can see them doing is like maybe partnering with Nintendo and just having like a small little Sonic ride or a small little Monkey Ball ride. Because although at Universal, what they something really cool that they could do is have like a Monkey Ball ride where you're in the ball
Right.
and maybe you control the ground or something. That could be interesting. Just because Universal can definitely pull that shit off. Their fucking rides are amazing. Transformers, Harry Potter,
Mm-hmm.
just to name a few. Like they can do a lot of cool things with the visuals, and I think the idea of just being in a ball is super cool. But honestly, them
I
doing
think
their
they.
own thing and somewhere, first of all, there's no room in California. First of all, um, Japan maybe, but I don't think we need a whole lot. Honestly, my personal opinion about amusement parks is that we don't need a shit ton. We need a few, and those few need to be huge with lots of things to
Right.
do.
That makes
That's
sense.
my own personal opinion. I mean, I guess they could
I just
partner with
want them.
Disney, but
I just
no.
want them to partner with Nintendo and get those like little like animal rideable things you get at the mall, like those kiosks at the mall. I want to
Yeah.
ride Knuckles. Just let me ride
Oh.
Knuckles.
Mm,
You took it there, not me.
mm. I mean, his name is
Mm.
Knuckles, so.
Well, I didn't want to ride Tails. That just sounds even funkier.
Okay.
Anyways. Alright, so an extended cut of the really old Mario movie is out online for free. Now, I haven't
Everything died again. Uh.
heard about this at all, so I'll let you explain it.
Oh, you haven't heard anything?
I have not heard a single thing about this. I like remember reading a headline, but I didn't like look into it at all.
Hmm. So I don't really know what it is. I clicked on a link and basically I was like, oh, it's just the Mario movie. I honestly I thought it was leaking the Illumination Mario movie, not the old Mario movie. But I guess there's some extra scenes in it, but I don't really know. I planned on watching it
I
and then I
would
kind of forgot about it.
I can't put myself through that movie after everything I've heard. I don't care
Yeah.
if the deleted scenes are good. I'm good. I'll
Have you never
pass.
seen the movie?
Thankfully, I've gotten to avoid it. I've avoided
No,
most of the mediocre video game adaptations.
I own the movie. I don't own it. I don't know where it is, but I think I own the movie. But it's actually it's good, but it's in its own unique sphere. It's like I don't know how to explain. Like I watched it as a kid and I enjoyed it, but I was like, this is not Mario, you know. Like obviously Miyamoto had no hands on it, which if he did, you know exactly how the movie would look. But it's
Right.
honestly good in its own right, and I watched a lot of like Mario media when I was a kid, like the Super Show, um,
Yeah.
all these other things. So honestly, it's not too bad if you don't look at it in the context of oh this is a Mario movie. This is something else. You got to remember that this is something else.
If I can, maybe after the Illumination version comes out, like I'll go back and just see how it is. But I don't know. I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna have to have a couple of drinks in me before I sit down and watch that one.
Like Toad, I think. Well, first of all, they turned Toads into Goombas. Goombas just are like giant beefy dudes with tiny little heads. Um, a Bob-omb was in the movie, but it was just the toy Bob-omb that you see at like you know Fry's Electronics in the front of the store where they have all those candies. Um,
Right.
what else? Big Bertha is in it. It's just a big fat black lady from what I remember.
Oh
Um,
gosh.
the Toads. Oh yeah, I was gonna say the Toads. I think they're literally homeless people with like those Jewish caps on, skull caps, right? Or seats. I don't know exactly what they're called. And they
Something
have
like
like
that.
the toad pattern on their head. I'm like, what is this? It's just funny. Oh, and Peach is
Was
not
that
even in
made
it. It's
in?
Daisy.
I'm assuming this movie was made in like the late '80s, early '90s.
Yeah. So
Makes sense.
I think or early 2000s. I can't remember.
It was definitely not early 2000s. It was like I want to say it was a couple years after The Wizard.
Really?
Let me look it up real quick. 93.
93. Okay.
Yeah. So it's almost 30 years old.
Yeah.
But if anyone wants to sit through that movie, knock yourselves out. It's online somewhere. I'm assuming YouTube.
Yeah. I'm not leaving the link in the
Then,
description. That's not happening. I don't even know if it's
uh,
like legal.
I mean, if it hasn't been taken down yet, I'm sure either Nintendo doesn't care or it's fine.
Oh, I'm sure Nintendo doesn't care. It's just I don't know.
Right?
It's
It's
just
not
not
taking
safe.
risk.
Yeah.
Yeah. But kind of pre E3, Nintendo did officially reveal their E3 Direct really early in June, about 2 weeks before the Direct. I
Mhm.
think for some reason this year with E3, everyone kind of waited until the very last second to announce their impressors.
Mhm.
And I don't know, because usually they announce it like early May, end of April. They waited till about 2 weeks out to announce that they were actually holding a
Yeah.
direct. It was at their normal time, so nothing surprising. But
And that's exactly what I was feeling when they announced it. Was like, okay, this obviously they don't really think it's like an actual E3. Like
yeah,
they're sort of treating it just like another Nintendo Direct. And that I
as they
will I will
should.
I will talk about more when we get to the E3 portion, but that kind of felt like it how it was across the industry because a lot of other developers they didn't really put too much effort into it either. So, well,
Right.
not Nintendo, but I mean obviously Nintendo just they didn't bring their A game to carry E3 quote unquote. I mean they did, but that's just because it was just a normal direct. They put good games that people were looking forward to in the direct. But it wasn't as crazy
Exactly.
as like the Smash Everyone Is Here trailer or
Like
Breath of the
obviously
Wild.
we'll discuss this in that section, but it kind of felt like universally no one really cared about showing up to E3 this year.
Mm. It wasn't
Like
about E3 itself. It was just about just being there, I guess.
kind of felt like everyone just kind of felt like they were everyone besides Nintendo and Xbox kind of felt like they were forced to go.
Hmm.
So they just kind of brought the bare minimum and called it a day.
Capcom. I don't think Capcom even did anything.
Capcom did do something, but they did not reveal a single new thing.
They were just talking about, oh yeah, these games are coming.
They announced Resident Evil DLC. They showed
Mm.
off Monster Hunter Stories, and then had this esports section towards the end. I
Yeah.
didn't even bother
Whatever.
watching it.
We'll talk about more later.
Exactly. But moving on from that, Game Builder Garage released, and there was a demo release. Did you
Nope.
play any of this? Same.
Although the concept is interesting, it's just not my thing. Mario Maker is where it's at for me. I'm not a coder. I don't think you really need coding knowledge, but it's a very interesting idea. But I'm not gonna pay $30 right now for it. Maybe later when it gets discounted or something, but not
I
today.
will say $30 for the content I've seen people make. I think it's a really good deal.
Yeah,
I
fair.
was
That is
surprised
fair.
Nintendo didn't try to charge a $50 or $60 for it. I
No,
thought the
they were gonna
price tag was
charge $80.
really impressive. You know, it wouldn't. I think it wouldn't have surprised me if Nintendo was like, "Yeah, you can make any game you want. Here's 80. Give us $80 for this little tool."
If it was still if it was still a Labo thing, it would 100% be $80 or more.
Uh, if it came with cardboard, sure, but if it was just on its own, I think it probably would have been like 40, 50.
Yeah.
But as a person that didn't like Mario Maker
Hey,
and not I'm not very creative, this was never something for me, but I do like looking and seeing what people are coming up with.
no, Mario Maker 2 was supposed to be the best game ever, probably second to Smash Ultimate, but no, it didn't, and it's Nintendo's fault, and I blame them specifically for it.
I kind of feel like it was the first one was so perfectly made for the Wii U gamepad, and
Yeah.
having the Switch be what it is, like you do have an option to use the touchscreen, but there's no stylus. It just
Yeah.
didn't feel right.
I mean, I honestly spent more time on the 3DS version. I'm one of those rare people that did. And that's what. And another thing too, there was no compatibility with the original game, which is something that was a biggest gripe for me because I already sunk so many hours in the 3DS version, so many hours in the Wii U version. Now, I haven't even played it in a little bit because I'm kind of burnt, or I was burnt out at the time. I just don't really have
Hmm.
time to do it anymore. But I have to now go back and painstakingly remake my old levels if I, picking and choosing a few because I really enjoyed those levels, and so they deserve to be played by the mass audience that are now in Mario Maker 2. I can't. I mean, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
It up. I dabbled in it a bit. I played the story, but honestly, once they announced that the amiibo costume things from the original Mario Bros were gone, I checked out. That's really the only thing that I cared about in the original.
And that's that. And it was replaced by something better, but it wasn't explored enough. Like the Link
Exactly.
costume, the Mario 2 costume. The whole game itself was just missed potential again. So
I mean, when New Super Mario Bros. U, a port of a Wii U game, is outselling Maker 2, you know something's up there.
yeah.
But, oh well.
Well,
It's over.
I do understand that sentiment, but also at the same time, New Super Mario Bros. U is just a traditional Mario game. Mario Maker is not. Uh,
Yeah.
like for example, my little cousin, he was gifted Mario Maker 2, but I know for a fact he's not going to play it. He's way too young for it. But just because Mario was slapped on, it doesn't mean it's actually any good for him. But I know that New
Yeah,
Super
that's
Mario Bros.
fair.
U Deluxe is, although I don't really remember him playing it too much. But he can't. He at least he can play it. He can't really play Mario Maker 2. You know.
Yeah. I hope Nintendo I hope they bring back the original like 2D series alongside Mario Maker because I remember when the original was released on Wii U, people were like, "Well, we never need another 2D Mario game again." I disagree. I
No.
want a new Nintendo-made Mario game.
But it
I don't need
has
it
to.
for a while.
Yeah. It has to be something different though. That's it. Like I said before,
Exactly.
you can't just keep doing the same thing over and over again.
I like the new series, but even myself, if I see that new logo on the next 2D Mario game, I'm gonna freak out a little bit.
New Super Mario World.
Don't.
Okay.
Ready. So Pokemon Unite actually got some news, and it is coming to the Switch sometime in July. And there is the beta kind of thing already been done through, or
I
is it
don't know. I didn't
still
really.
going on?
I'm not paying attention to Unite at
Me
all.
neither.
I
But
think
the
it. I
mobile
think it
version is
is
coming
out
out in September.
as of right now of recording this video. It is out in Japan. I think just the
Okay.
mobile version, but I'm not sure.
Because I've seen some people like playing with it, but I didn't know if that was like the beta or whatever it
Yeah,
is.
I don't
But
know.
it's coming out on Switch sometime this month, mobile in September. It looks nice for people who enjoy those kind of games. I'm not a Pokemon fan. I'm not a.
I mean, I'm a
Is it a
Pokemon fan
MOBA?
and MOBA, yeah, and I'm not really
Yeah,
interested.
I'm good.
What else did Tencent do? Which
Beats
Tencent's
me.
pretty big, isn't aren't they?
I hear their name all the time, but I can't bring up to mind anything they've actually done.
Uh, so yeah, and
But
also the costumes are pretty cool too. But hold on,
yeah, they look good.
hair's annoying. The costumes are pretty good and cool, but they'll never bring it to the main series. So it's like, why the point? Why? What's the point in looking at them?
Right. It'll be interesting to see how well this game does, though, because it's got a lot of potential.
Yeah,
But all right, so that's coming out sometime this month for anyone who's interested. And a little bit after E3, they announced that Sonic DLC was coming to Minecraft.
yeah. I got to
I
play
am.
this a little bit. It was pretty cool. They also announced. I'm not. We're not going to talk about it next month, but they did announce that Sonic was also coming to the Hive, which is a Minecraft server.
Oh, I know about that one.
Yeah. So I just want to. I probably should include all this together because even though the Sonic thing in Hive came out like yesterday or something, um,
Mhm.
but it's a pretty cool idea. Honestly, I would prefer them to have done a mashup pack. But basically, all they did was make it a mini game that you can buy or a map that you can buy with
Right.
Sonic textures, Sonic mods, or slash behavior packs. Sonic. Well, you don't even get Sonic skins at all. Uh, I think I'm not really sure, but when I joined my friend's server or world that had it, I was already Sonic, even though I didn't have that skin equipped
Mhm.
skin on. I was
Right.
already Sonic, and the gameplay is cool, but on it, I honestly preferred back in the old days when they did mashup packs, like the Mario mashup pack. That was really cool. The Mario textures, the
Right.
Mario enemies, the this the world. The world itself was really cool because there's a lot of small little details. I don't know if you've explored the Mario mashup pack world, but they basically recreated the entirety of Mario World in one little corner of the map. And then in another corner is the entirety of Isle
Oh, that's
Delfino.
awesome. I have.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
and there's Peach's Castle right in the middle. Like literally it looks
There was just
exactly
so
like
much
Mario
fan
64.
service.
Yeah. I think there's a little 3D world in there. There's a little New Super Mario Bros. U in there. There's so
Yeah, a little
much
bit of everything.
little details in the world. It was so cool. And I was kind of expecting them to update it when Bedrock came out, but they didn't. Um, and now it looks a little bit weird because when you open it up, like in the old console version, they had a limited size world, but now in the Bedrock version, it's a lot bigger. And they say it's infinite, but the game crashes if you go so far. So technically, it is infinite.
Right.
But so now on the outskirts of the map, there's just like normal Minecraft terrain that extends outward, so it looks really
Oh,
weird.
that's a bummer.
Yeah, but all in all, like it is a great mashup pack, and it sucks that Sonic didn't do the same. That being said, the ideas that they did have were pretty cool.
It's cool to see this stuff being represented. I never really go into them and check them out, but seeing them get announced, I'm like, okay, cool that they're still making this kind of stuff for Minecraft. I know it's still really popular, but they put a lot of effort into these things.
All I want is a Smash skin pack. That's what I want. With every character, every me fighter.
Oh, you're asking for way too much, but
I
that'd be
know.
amazing.
Honestly, like I was thinking, oh, they should do like a Smash mashup pack, but that wouldn't work. I would rather just have skins
Wait,
because like, what can you really do for textures or a map?
too
Like,
much licensing for that one.
yeah.
I mean, you could do like a
You could,
few. You can make like recreate the stages, but that's about it.
yeah, like there's no point in doing that. Like, and what I mean by Smash Bros is not like Ultimate's roster, but maybe like Melee's roster or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So,
Yeah. But anyways, Windows 11 was revealed. Again, I'm an Apple fanboy. I know nothing
hey,
about this, so all you.
uh, Apple computers are all right, but phones, nah. Throw all of them in the trash. We don't need them anymore.
I'm not
Uh,
having this debate with you today, Slime.
um, but that's an Android versus Apple conversation. Windows is
Right.
their phones can also go in the garbage because they're terrible, and everyone agrees. But Windows 11 is actually shaping out to be really cool. I haven't really been keeping up too much with it, but I thought it would be notable to talk about because Windows 10 is like almost 5, 6, maybe 10 years old. I'm
It's
not really sure.
six. It's not
It
10. I remember downloading
it's
Windows
Windows
10
10
back in
is
the
10
day,
years
but
old. Uh, no, but it's getting pretty old, and I honestly thought because I think the gap between 7, 8, and 7, 8, and 9, 7, 8, 8.1, and 10 was fairly short. Like
Mhm.
the 7 days was fairly short lived, and even back in the old days, like Windows, there was probably a new version of Windows every couple of years. So
Right.
I don't know, but I do want to say they moved the start icon to the middle, and it weirds me out a lot. It's so weird. Like everything is centralized, and like how they used to have the box things or or not the window, or I guess they're called windows, right? Like each
Mm,
thing that you have open, it's like a square box. Now they have rounded edges, which I really like. It
it's
gives it a
nice.
more mobile look, and they also added Android apps to the Windows App Store, which is something that people have been looking for a long time. Because
Yeah,
back in
I've
the
heard
old
about that.
days, you have to use something called BlueStacks or try to sync up your phone to your computer. You don't have to do that anymore. You just have to
Nice.
download it, and now most people can probably cover mobile content a lot easier through this.
Good, good.
Because there are, although mobile games are not that good, there are some games that are actually pretty decent. And if you don't have a means of recording mobile games, this is your
There you
opportunity.
go.
And
Yeah.
games like something we'll talk about in a little bit, i.e., Final Fantasy, both the battle royale game and this pixel remaster thing, which we'll get into. If it's a mobile game, I guess you're kind of well. I guess it's on Steam too, but this is your way to play the mobile version if you want.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, there's just so like I believe there's like I think Chrono Trigger is on mobile. So well, I guess
Yeah.
it's on PC too, but still.
A lot of Square's games are easily accessible on mobile, mostly the older ones.
So
So that's always
you can
good.
play Mario Run.
Not even gonna lie, I bought an Apple phone just to play Mario Run when it was exclusive for those few months.
I bought a I don't I pulled out my old iPod Touch 4th generation just to play it. And then it came out on Android, and then I bought the DLC, and I haven't played any of the. I haven't even played it. I bought the
I don't even
$10
remember if I
DLC.
bought. I don't even know if I bought the DLC. I know I bought the full game.
Yeah,
It was fun, better than I expected it to be.
just mindless fun, really. But I'm not. I
Exactly.
used to be an avid mobile player, but not anymore. I used to play like Flappy
Yeah.
Bird and Splashy Fish and all those like addicting games that I like to call them, but
Mm.
I kind of stopped doing
I
that.
don't even have time to normal game these days. I don't have time to pull out my phone and start playing Geometry Dash or whatever.
Hey, I still play that. That's actually fun. The
It's a good
music is
game.
great.
Right.
I used to have this idea that it would eventually be ported to Switch. No.
Never say never.
Yeah.
That's one that really would not surprise me.
Yeah. But I mean, I was like, oh yeah, we can get all these like Mario skins and stuff. There's actually a Mario skin in Geometry Dash. There's also a Minecraft or skin, but square, whatever, customization option. There's one for Mario. There's one for Minecraft.
Right.
There's a bunch of
Nice.
different
Nice.
things in there. But the only problem with Geometry Dash is their updates are like I think we're on 1.1 or 1.22 or something like that, and we've been
Mhm.
waiting on it for like 4 or 5 years now, and
Yeah.
I just like given up on playing it because I keep checking in every couple of months. Oh, is this update out yet? Nope.
Maybe someday.
Because the next update is actually looking to be pretty cool because they're doing like camera things with it. But anyway, that's another topic.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Our last piece of news before we can go into the long E3 topic is that Skyward Sword HD is coming out in a few days, and Nintendo has been discussing their more quality of life updates, and I'm getting excited for this one. I'm not gonna lie.
So I don't have a complete list, but from what I remember, one, we got the announcement of the Amiibo. I think we talked about that last month, but I'm not sure.
I think so.
Basically, it allows you to travel between the sky and the ground easily. I think there used to be like warp points or something like that before.
Little owl statues.
Yeah. Speaking of owl statues, there's now an autosave feature, a free forming camera. The tutorial has been significantly cut, or just what else? Fi is less annoying because I think she was like one of the only annoying assistant characters, second to Midna, but people actually like Midna.
Oh,
No one likes
Midna's
Fi.
amazing. Don't you dare talk bad about Midna.
I didn't say anything. I think I said people like she is as annoying as Fi, but people like her as a character, so it justifies it.
Fee is the master. You've walked 5 steps. You have an 80% chance of crossing this bridge.
That's why I said she's number one.
Midna actually popped up when you actually needed her. I'd say Fee is like tied with Navi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
like
when I played through Ocarina, she wasn't that annoying. She's just like, because she doesn't actually stop gameplay to tell you something. She's just like, hey, listen, hey, right in your ear. But at least she doesn't stop gameplay.
But I'm really glad they're knocking her down a bit because Bee is a good character, but that she just got watered down by all the
watered down
crap they made her say.
She looks like water.
Ah, funny.
She looks like, what is that enemy from Sonic Adventure?
Beats me. I don't play Sonic.
It's like, I think its name is like Aqua or something. But anyway.
Oh, how creative.
I don't know what it is. It's like water something. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it's shaping out to be a good remake. Again, the whole $60 argument is, I mean, I kind of inclined to agree that maybe it's not worth $60, but you can't compare it to the Wii U version, and you obviously know if it's a mainline Zelda game, you're gonna get charged $60 no matter what, except for maybe like remakes.
Buy it.
Yeah.
I mean,
the Amiibo is not justified. The Amiibo is like not worth it at all.
Oh, I don't care about the functionality, but that Amiibo is riding on my doorstep day one.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna buy it day one. I'm excited because I'm actually starting to do a Zelda marathon right after that. And the functionality is looking closer to Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD. Like they're actually putting in the work. There's no new content really, which is
unfortunate because I think Twilight Princess had a new dungeon and Amiibo stamps, or
no, the new
stamps.
Dungeon was tied to the Amiibo, but the physical version came with the Amiibo for $60. So really, Twilight Princess HD was $50. So was Wind Waker HD, which is why I'm kind of so annoyed that Skyward Sword is trying to get away with $60, even though it launched at $50, and it's really adding no new content. They're pulling a Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze with it, and once again, we're going to buy it because we don't care.
Also, again, most people haven't played Skyward Sword. I haven't.
I believe it sold about less than 4 million, which means roughly 4% of the Wii audience bought Skyward Sword.
Yeah. It came out pretty late in its life cycle, right, too?
It came out a year before the Wii U came out, so...
Yeah, and same thing with, like, Galaxy. Galaxy 2 was pretty late in the life cycle, too, but...
Yeah. But, whatever. It's going to sell well. I think people really enjoy it. But I will talk about this in the E3 session. Just give me Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. I'm so tired of this.
It's not happening. I'm sorry.
Is why would they bring every Wii U title and just be like, those Zelda games? They don't want those.
Hey, they want a Game & Watch with four Zelda games on it.
I'm angry about that. Don't get me started.
Hey, it's pretty cool. I mean, 3 games compared to 2 the Mario one had.
But... I'm buying it, but I don't want it.
We'll talk about that in literally a second. So,
all right, E3. Is there? Should we just briefly touch on Square Enix's conference?
Oh, Square Enix's conference was absolutely horrendous. Everyone agrees.
Think it's Guardians of the Galaxy?
Okay, so people think that it looks good, and they are saying, okay, it might be better than Avengers because Avengers sucked. But the problem was is that they spent too much time on it in the actual presentation itself. Not to mention they actually talked about Avengers as well, as in they're adding more content to an already bad game. So it's like
I was
wasting our
watching all
time
of
with this stuff instead of the actual things that people are
I
looking forward to with
I was
Square.
watching these conferences with my roommate who is not a gamer really in the slightest. And even she was going like, why are they talking about this game for 20 minutes? We watched Xboxes earlier in the day and she's like, we've seen like 10 games at this point. And they were still on
Yeah.
game number one. Like,
And it's a
I
game that
was
no
just
one cares about because, or maybe not Guardians of the Galaxy specifically, but they did not do it well. I don't even know how they have the license to do another game. Like Marvel should say, "Nope, give me our money
I
back right now." Like, fuck you guys. You guys do not know how to.
I just I got so mad at Square Enix's conference just because the one thing I wanted was the Life is Strange collection on Switch, and they didn't show that in that conference.
I
Obviously, they
don't.
did in the direct.
I don't like Western Square. I only like Eastern Square. I hate to say that. Like,
I
but
get what you mean.
uh, and the Eastern Square things were not even that significant. Did they even talk about Final Fantasy 16?
Nope.
I think they may have talked about 14 a little bit, but I'm not really into 14.
I think so.
Um,
Yeah.
what else did they didn't talk about? They didn't talk about porting Kingdom Hearts to Switch. Come on. Uh, what
I
else?
don't get why that hasn't happened. They've come to
Yeah,
Xbox at this point. Come on.
yeah. Come like it. It's perfect. I mean, I don't even care if you don't bring three. Just bring
Yeah,
the
don't
story
bring
so
three. Bring the
far.
collection. Yeah,
Yeah, bring the
exactly.
story so far, and that's it. They already have Melody of Memory. I mean, just give it to us.
The
Um,
Switch is approaching 100 million units sold, and it's going to keep going. Why? There's no
yeah.
excuse why these old Kingdom Hearts games can't be on Switch.
Oh, I forgot to mention. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade did come out this month too, um, which I watched someone play through the game. It actually looks really good. And everything died.
You cut out there for a second.
Uh, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade came out this month, and it actually is really good. And I again don't have a PS5, but I really want to play Final Fantasy VII Remake. And
I own Remake. I got it on sale. I still have not had time to play it.
it's pretty long for how. Well, I think it's like literally a fifth of Final Fantasy VII, which is crazy. It's
It's
very
literally
little of
just
the
the
game.
Midgar section.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's so much to do. And then adding this integrate part, which even though it's fairly short, it's still a great little sub game to play.
Right, exactly.
It was great. It was when I what I've seen of it. They so far what they're doing is really good, which is um well they have to at this point because when they announced this game at like 2013 for the PS3 or something like that, and
It was
here we are.
20. It was 2015 for the PS4, and they had this like tech demo for the PS3 in like
Mm.
2006.
Oh,
It's
okay.
been a long time coming, so I'm glad it came out. I'm glad people like it,
Yeah.
and I can't wait for Final Fantasy 15 Part 5 to come out on the PS6.
So they also have Final Fantasy Origin, which is like, is that a remake of the first game or?
I honestly don't know. I thought it was Devil May Cry when they announced it, even though I knew full well about those rumors.
Um, but Final Fantasy. Well, also another thing too. Final Fantasy Origin is a collection title on like the PS2 or maybe the Vita or PSP or something like that. It includes one
Mm.
and two. So I don't know what this Origin game. I don't. Strangers of Paradise. I don't know what that is.
It looks like I've heard it's kind of like I don't know. It looks interesting. I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah.
I really
The
thought it was
character
Devil May
design.
Cry.
These look
But
like dudes.
I hope Final Fantasy fans like the game. I don't care. I'm not much of a Final Fantasy guy anyway, so Square's conference just in general just killed me. It was bad.
There's one more thing about Square is the Pixel remaster too. Like, I don't really know how it's a remaster at all. I don't get that naming convention at all. And I was like, oh, cool, I can play the old Final Fantasy games on mobile, not on Switch.
Well, get why they didn't bring these to Switch. It makes
Especially,
absolutely no sense.
I listen to TNT and they're like, Collection of Mana and Collection of Saga are doing gangbusters. They should literally just do
Yeah,
it for mainline fantasy. And same thing for Kingdom Hearts. Like,
yeah.
they will sell probably a lot of copies with these games, and they're just not doing it.
Square's support of the Switch just makes no sense to me. They bring
Bottom
the
line,
they bring weird things to the Switch and things that are obvious they don't bring over at
yeah,
all.
I don't know.
But
I don't know about any other conferences you want to talk about.
I sat through most of them. Microsoft's was pretty good. Like Forza looks good, Halo looks good. I Everything else it kind of was a blur. It's a usual Microsoft show. It was all
Mm-mm.
right, but nothing for me.
Capcom did absolutely
Uh,
nothing.
Capcom, I don't even want to talk about Capcom. That one made me angry. And I'm not even a Capcom fan, really.
I just wanted to see a new Mega Man or, God forbid, another collection.
I don't. They literally only announced DLC for Final Fantasy, Resident Evil 8.
Yeah,
I mean, good
it
for
didn't even
them.
need DLC. Like,
The thing is, it really felt like, oh, we just started development because we saw the game selling well. It'll come later. They
nah,
had
you
nothing
guys
to
started a long
show.
time ago.
Right. Um, Summer Games Fest was, I guess, pretty alright because we finally got Elden Ring. It looks good.
Is
I
that Elder
might play it.
Scrolls or something? Is that another Elder Scrolls
No,
game?
it's a new IP, and I think it's written by the guy who wrote Game of Thrones.
Oh, I don't care about either of those things.
I It looks good. I may pick it up if I have the time. I probably won't because it comes out like a week before Pokemon Legends does. But
Uh, um,
we'll see. I think it'll get delayed. It seems a little too ambitious, but
yeah.
I'd like to be wrong. And outside of that, pretty uneventful E3. Nobody really brought their A game.
And Ubisoft was there and they did something, but that's something we'll talk about. And
Avatar,
Nintendo's,
I
oh,
Avatar
Avatar.
does look good. I think that has potential. I think it's Ubisoft, so they're gonna fuck it up, but it has potential.
It's too little, too late though. Like they're like Disney and I don't know who else is working on the Avatar films, but they're just like hyping up more universe and more games and more media, and
We
they're
literally have 2 through 5 in the works, and they keep getting delayed.
yeah. Two. By the way, the fact that they have so much fucking confidence to say that they're gonna have 5 other movies in this
Right?
franchise when we know absolutely nothing,
Why should okay? If it was like 10 or
especially
11
because we
years,
only had one movie and it was like 10 years ago.
it was over 10 years ago. They've been telling us since like a few months after that movie came out. Oh, this is a series. This is a series. Why am I supposed to believe that you're going to start dropping these Avatar movies every year or two once the second one comes out when it's been 10 plus years since the first one?
I hope that it's
What are you
more
smoking?
about. I hope it's more about Pandora itself rather than the characters because I don't know if people actually like the characters or not. But
I've
I hope
seen
it's
that
not like.
movie too. I've seen that movie multiple times, and I don't remember anything that happens in it.
No, I just hope it's more about like the creatures and like not necessarily
Right.
about specific characters, just about the world in general. So you don't really have to care about if it's like a 2, 3, 4, or 5. It's just the Avatar world.
Right. Yeah. But all right, let's finally get to the big section, Nintendo's Direct. What did you think about the Direct?
It was mid for me. I see. It wasn't for me. It was for a lot of mainstream Nintendo fans, but not me.
That's
So
fair.
and even with the things that I knew were coming, it was just kind of like, oh, okay.
I walked away from that Direct with being really optimistic just because they kind of announced something for absolutely everybody.
Except for me.
If you want if you wanted Zelda, here's Breath of the Wild 2. You wanted Metroid, we don't have Prime 4 ready yet, here's Metroid Dread.
I
You want a
I
new Mario Party? Mario Party.
I haven't even finished Breath of the Wild, and I'm scared to play Breath of the Wild. So how am I gonna get excited for two?
You were one of the five people that has not finished Breath of the Wild. That's on you.
I know.
That you got to
Well,
get
I
on
there might
that.
be that one guy that is still trying to play the game, even though they got it at launch, and they've been playing it slowly for like 4 years, trying to get everything,
Oh,
every item, every
I
Korok
get
seed.
that, but that pains me.
It's just like that guy that was a few months ago that collected every Pokemon shiny.
Yeah, I heard about that. But the thing was, like, I was very positive about the direct in the time, but then as I walked away from it, I kind of sat there and like, okay, so the rumored Donkey Kong game wasn't there. We obviously didn't see Bayonetta 3 or Prime 4. I
At least
will
we got an
admit,
update on Prime 4.
Breath of the Wild 2 looks amazing, but they didn't show anything really. They gave us a little taste, but it left me wanting more than I did before E3.
Yeah.
And that's the point, I know, but I'm hyped. Just not feeling it like I was with the original Breath of the Wild after its second E3.
Yeah. I guess we should just go down the list then.
All right, let's start with Kazuya coming to Smash Bros.
Kazuya. Kazuya.
It's Kazuya.
It's
Kazuya. I don't
Kazuya.
care.
It's Banjo and Kazuya. Banjo and Kazuya.
Yes.
So in E3, it was announced. They also announced that there was going to be a Sakurai Presents. That happened, and the character has released. Kazuya itself, in my personal opinion, he's pretty cool. There's
He's
too
a
many
great
moves.
character.
There's too many moves. I can't keep track of them. I couldn't even do all the inputs for Ken or Ryu. How the fuck am I supposed to do them for 400? He has 5 pages of moves on his move
I
list
know.
and menu.
Cracks me up.
I was like, why is it still going?
That was like the first thing I checked when I downloaded the character, and I was just laughing my ass off, just
There's
scrolling.
so
through,
many.
This is like, can I get a Spark Notes for this?
Yeah. But the character is pretty cool. The stage is like, I don't play Tekken. I don't know Tekken. I want to say it was a disappointment for me as a slot, but I honestly don't really care anymore. To be honest, after Steve, like I say time and
Right.
time again, I'm happy for those Tekken fans. What Tekken fans? I don't know. But
That's the thing. Like, Smash has spoiled me in every sense of the word.
mhm.
I got K. Rool, I got Inkling, I got Banjo, Steve, and everyone else that has been great has been such a bonus. If I don't get Crash, I don't care. I
Yeah.
like Crash, I'm fine.
And for me
But
personally, I was more excited for the Mii costumes because a lot of people are like, deconfirm this or deconfirm that. But honestly, it didn't deconfirm. It added them to the game in a greater capacity than just a fucking spirit. Because
it does
spirits are nothing
good.
to me. Spirits are nothing to me. Mii costumes, you're technically playing as that character. I don't care if it's a Mii. You look like the character. You're using assets from those games. It's basically a character.
It
But
is
not a
so
full
cool.
character, but a half character.
I never play the Miis. It's cool that they're there. I appreciate that they're there, and I will never be angry that they are there. I will admit it probably does hurt to see, let's say, Dante get a Mii costume, because
You cut out. Oh my god.
that being said, though,
You didn't say anything at all.
you've been doing that a couple times with me throughout the
Uh
podcast, not gonna lie. Uh, but basically, just it's cool they're there. Cool Sakurai's thinking about them. Tekken, Bandai Namco deserved a second
yeah.
representative. I'm glad it was Tekken instead of Tales of Symphonia. We have
Yeah.
we have a lot of RPG characters.
And another thing that's good too is that all the Mikai costumes from Smash 4 are here as well. Um
Exactly, every single
and
one.
every Mii costume is here. The only thing that we're missing is stages now, essentially. I
I don't know
don't know if every uh s- trophy is a spirit though. I'm not sure
No,
about that.
there
But
was trophies, like places, not even characters.
mm, but again,
Yeah,
another thing too, like regarding the Mii costumes, like we got like of course Sans. I highly doubt Sans was ever gonna be an actual character. Like, but the fact that we got it in Smash after it being a meme for who knows how fucking long, it was a great moment. It was honestly one of like it was Sans's reveal is number 3 and number 2 would be Steve and number 1 would be everyone is here. Like
Mm.
it was a huge moment. And even though it was just a me
Right.
costume, it was enough. Although you did predict that there would be a deluxe me costume and we got it.
I really thought it was. I didn't expect it to be Shantae. I was pleasantly surprised, but I really thought it was gonna be. I don't know who, but I thought it was gonna be if another Microsoft character. I was kind of holding out it was gonna be either Master Chief or the Skyrim character, and we did get the Skyrim character as a me, but just not with the music.
I didn't know it was a Skyrim character. Again, like when they announced the Assassin's Creed character, I was like, Altair? What is that? What game is that? And the same thing with with that. I was like, is this a dragon? It's a Dragonborn? So I was like, is this Bloodborne? Is this a Soulsborne character? Like, who is this? So
Being said, though, I feel like now that we're getting towards the end of the characters, we've only got one more me wave. I think the next one's going to be more violent than this one was, frankly.
yeah,
Like, we're going to
but
get
yeah,
everyone, I feel like, that wasn't representative. I think Master Chief could be a deluxe me in the next wave.
yeah. Wait, do you
Rayman,
mean like
maybe.
a deluxe me
With, like, a song.
like like with a song? Okay.
Yeah. Like Shantae was.
Okay,
We'll get.
I thought you were gonna be like a deluxe like Bobberman with all the colors.
No. No. Well, it's possible, but maybe. I think whoever. I think they may get Crash as a me costume if he's not the final character.
Oh my god, it
I
looked like
think.
the mascot.
Oh my god, I would hope so.
No, it doesn't look like Crash. It looks like the mascot, not that guy.
Because the impressions I'm getting is Nintendo was looking at the talk towards the end of Fighters Pass 1, and they picked their big six, and then everyone else was like, okay, let's see if we can get them in as a me.
Hmm.
And I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah, and then
But
a lot of I mean, I guess Smash Ultimate is like one of those games where it's like even more so disappointing than other games, especially because of the massive all star lineup. But also at the same, but we also have to think about too. This is it. If this is the final fighter that we will see probably forever, in my own
there will be
personal
more.
opinion.
There will be more Smash games, but
But
this
it
is the
not like
last.
this. It'll
No.
probably be Nintendo focused moving forward, and it'll probably
Yep.
not be the same. It'll be a different series, or well,
Which is
different.
why I think they'll either change the formula a little bit with a different director, or I think more likely we'll get a complete reboot. So
Yeah,
new moves sets for everyone, back
yeah.
to 20, 25 characters. It's gonna hurt, and I really hope the last character is not a Pokemon, or is at least exciting. I don't know if it will be or not.
Waluigi,
That would be perfect. That would be
Waluigi specifically from SMG4. He was like rejected from Smash, and then he has all these insane powers that have no lore connection to them.
I I really hope they end Smash with a bang. They're not good at ending Smash with high notes in previous games. I really hope the last character is a third party reveal, whoever it may be. But honestly, I'm ready for speculation to end. I'm tired.
Yeah. It's just I think it's just a longer hype cycle than 4 was from reveal to release and then release to the last DLC.
4's DLC ended February 2016 and got officially, like, it got its first trailer at E3 2013. So it is absolutely a longer hype cycle.
Yeah. So
But it took a year and a half for 4 to come out after that first trailer
yeah. So we
compared
got
to Ultimate 6 months.
I guess even though it was a longer hype cycle, it was pretty much connected straight into Ultimate because as soon as the Switch was announced, people were like, "When is the Smash game coming to Switch?" Like, so yes, I agree with you. I'm tired. It's over now. Let Sakurai rest.
By the time, because Sakurai made it sound like that the final DLC character was probably going to be towards the end of the year. It's going to take a little while. By that point, let's say it gets revealed in December at the Game Awards. I don't know if it will or not.
I don't think so. I think it'll be
3,
revealed at Nintendo's September Direct.
I think that's too soon because Sakurai was like, it's going to take some time. I don't
I
think he
think
would have
it'll
said that
be
3 months before a reveal.
I think it'll be revealed then, and then like released in like November, like Terry was.
I'm thinking either Game Awards or kind of like what Steve got, its
I
own like separate reveal.
I just think it's gonna be too late in December. So
Eh, you never know. I mean, Sephiroth got revealed in December.
yeah. Mm.
But I think whatever happens, I think it's going to be an exciting character for some fan base.
The
And I think
Pokemon one.
we'll see.
It's
I'm
gonna be
not
Arceus.
expecting. I'm
So,
not expecting anyone, and whoever happens, happens.
okay.
But
Fair.
basically, at that point, it'll have been 3 years of just DLC speculation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to hop off this train.
Yeah. What if it just says everyone who has ever been asked about is all in one character? You got
Oh my
Sora,
god.
you got Master Chief, and you got Crash, and you got what's the Phoenix Wright is a 4-person character.
Nintendo wouldn't greenlight a third Fighter's Pass because development
It's
costs is too expensive. So I just took the liberty of making a Pokemon trainer type character with every single wanted character. Enjoy, I quit. But enough with Smash Bros. It's
and also remember this. He's probably one of the last remaining older directors. Like Iwata passed away. Miyamoto is still hands on, but he doesn't really do that much
yeah.
like
He's
like he
probably in
used
his
to.
basement chipping away at Pikmin 4, but he's working on the Mario movie. He's working
Yeah.
on maintaining the theme park.
But he's
He's
doing it more as like an executive producer would rather
right,
than an actual developer. I think
right.
Sakurai is hands on because he's literally master hand. He has like he's him and Iwata are like perfect tinkerers. So when it comes to actual
It's
development.
I know it's gonna suck when Smash Bros is done because it's besides Zelda, it's my favorite IP, but I'm ready for it to be a complete game, and so I can
Mm-hmm.
start holding out hope for a complete edition that I know will never happen.
Mm-hmm. Have to buy it twice. I mean, a third time.
I would be there for it though, getting all that content in one cartridge.
Yeah. I mean, that means I downloaded it day one. I
Yeah.
recently bought the cartridge version, and now I have to buy the complete version. You're telling me I have to do all that and buy both Pokemon games, and then have to go back and buy the full DLC version of Pokemon Sword and
No
Shield
one
and
telling you to
Arceus.
buy all this stuff. This is
I
you.
have to. I already set a precedent. I have to buy all 3 versions of Twilight Princess.
Four.
4.
I'm kidding. The Switch version of Twilight Princess has not been announced yet. Yet.
No.
But okay, enough with Smash Bros. Let's move on. They, for some reason, they announced the Life is Strange games are coming to Switch in the Direct rather than at Square's conference.
And True Colors is a new game, right?
Yes, True Colors is coming out in September. It's a brand new title, and it's going to be there day and date with the other systems for once. Good job, Square.
This is all you. I don't really like Western Square, so
Yeah. Life is Strange is basically just a choice-based series, and what happens can drastically alter the storyline. I haven't played anything but the first one, but the first one is so good that I can't wait for the remastered collection to come out so I can play it again.
is is this the game where the meme of it's either Life is Strange or The Last of Us, where these two girls are like making out, but they keep changing the characters to be like Mario and Sonic, and then like it was a meme where it like kept changing every frame to like different characters making out.
I don't
I don't
remember
know if
this
that was
name, so I'm
Life is
not sure.
Strange or The Last of Us. It was the weirdest meme I have ever seen in my entire life, but I thought it was from this game.
It might have been, but you're right. It could have been from The Last of Us. I don't recall seeing this one. But it looks good. I'm picking those games up the day they come out. And Guardians of the Galaxy is also coming to the Switch as a cloud version.
Yeah,
So
cloud
I will
version. Ugh,
absolutely not be playing that.
nope. I'm not even gonna play
Uh,
Avengers, so
Worms Rumble That was in the sizzle reel. Don't
I've
care.
never even heard of Worms ever. Apparently, it's a massive series, but I've never heard of it.
I've heard about it before. I know there's another one on the Switch, but I've never picked it up. Astria Ascending, I don't even remember this one.
Me neither. I looked at it and I was like, "Oh, this art style is pretty cool," but I don't even know what it is. So,
2 Point Campus, I'm excited for this one.
I
2 Point Hospital looked really fun, but hospital simulations aren't really my thing. But
just give
I'll
us
definitely be
Sims.
trying out Campus.
Just give us The Sims 5.
Why hasn't EA given us this? Not even The Sims 5. Why hasn't EA given us any Sims on the Switch?
Okay, they haven't even given The Sims on any Nintendo console. The Sims games that are on Nintendo consoles are like spin-offs that
Yep.
that are not even real Sims games. So,
But up until like The Sims 4, we really haven't gotten the genuine game on consoles.
mhm.
Now it's there, it's on the Xbox One, it's on the PS4. They could easily get it to work on the Switch. You cannot tell me a game like that can't run on the Switch.
I want UB Funkies to come back. I feel
Yes.
I still have that thing somewhere. Actually,
I'm sure I do too. I haven't.
I think
seen
I
it in a
played at
while.
UB Funkies. There's this Lego pizza game that I played. What else? Wonder Pets Webkins. That
Oh,
was the shit.
I was literally just talking about Webkins the other day. I missed that era.
I'm pretty sure I still have some of my Webkins somewhere.
I'm sure I do somewhere in one of my old boxes that I have still in my closet.
I should just we should just make a video of me going through my entire like stuffed animal collection. I have so many.
Oh, it'll be a 2-hour video.
Like this one.
But anyways, Super Monkey Ball Collection. I cannot wait for this game.
I've never been a
Oh
monkey
my
ball
gosh.
guy.
I freaked out when this got revealed because there was like another trademark or rating board that rated it like right before Summer Games Fest, and I was like, "Oh, come on, announce it here, announce it here." I did not like Banana Blitz HD, so I didn't even pick it up. But they're finally bringing back the old Monkey Ball games, and oh my god, they are so much fun.
And I think there was a recent thing too that they showed off. First of all, there's a Amiibo that got leaked, but we don't know if it's real yet.
It's fake,
Okay.
unfortunately, and the third-party amiibos don't have the Nintendo logo on like the base of the
Mm.
packaging. So
There was also you can play as a Sega Master System, as well as Sonic
I
and Tails.
saw that. Who
So
cares about monkeys? Let's play as a video game console.
yeah, everyone was so hyped about that. I don't know, I don't know why.
I will be. This is probably one of my most hyped games of the year. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm there day one. I'm gonna be nonstop talking about this game for like a good couple weeks after launch. And it
Yep.
seems like they're adding a bunch of quality of life updates to make newcomers more accessible for this, as well as keeping the hardcore fans
Yep.
happy. So that's really great to see.
The closest thing I have ever played to Monkey Ball. Well, I played Monkey Ball. I'm sure in like arcade or something, but I played this game. I forgot what it's called. SpongeBob Bubble Bobble or something like that. Where
Yeah, I know what
it
you're
was
talking
it
about.
was basically that, but it was SpongeBob themed and it was on PC and it was like one of the greatest games I ever played at the time. It was so fun.
Monkey Ball is so much fun, especially the mini games, and the GameCube ones are just really challenging, which you didn't really get in Banana Blitz.
And
So
about but that was the Wii one, wasn't it?
yes, that was the
Yeah.
Wii one that got remastered or whatever in 2019
It
that
looked
everyone had a problem with.
What's weird is that they look the same like UI wise, and it kind of reminds
Yeah,
me of what they're doing with the Mario spin-off games like right now because like both Tennis Aces, Superstars, which we'll talk about in a second,
yep,
and Super Mario Party, they all have the same UI, which is really weird. Like
yeah, I know
it's
what you mean.
weird. It's like it's sterile too. It's just like I was like I don't know.
It's
Even the
sterile, but
logo
I don't
looks
think
the
it's that
same.
bad.
Even the
Yeah,
logos of the Banana Blitz and the trilogy look the same.
yeah. But, oh well, at least they're bringing back the good games finally. I admit I was kind of hoping for a new Monkey Ball, but I'm definitely not going to complain about a remaster collection.
Yeah.
But all right, speaking of Mario Party
Stupid stars.
Stupid Stars,
Boo.
Mario Party Superstars was announced to come out on October 29th. It's basically the top 100, but good.
Um, none of the Mario parties are good.
Okay, so I've been like since it got announced, I've been playing a bunch of Super Mario Party with my roommates, and it is so much fun. I really am getting back into the spirit of Mario Party. So seeing this come out with the old mini games, some really good boards, I'm very excited.
You need to put me in a situation where I can actually truly experience Mario Party because I've never owned a single Mario Party. I never know anybody that owns Mario Party or even likes Mario Party. So I never really experienced it the way it needs to be experienced.
Pick
However,
this game up. I will play with you online.
online, I feel like online still is not the same as.
It's not the same, but it's if you cannot get a group of friends over playing Mario Party, that's as close as you're gonna get.
All right, I mean, but here's the problem I have. Why do they keep releasing such piss poor effort Mario parties? Like even this game, like I don't
okay.
understand
I
why they had a system going. Even with you were saying about Mario Kart a few episodes ago or last episode, they could just be doing
mm,
the same fucking thing, everything. And then top 100, that wasn't a bad idea, but they didn't have any boards, which is what people liked. And then ever since Mario Party 9, they've been doing all these weird experimental things which no one liked and they still don't listen. And so Mario Party Superstars is shaping out to be a good game, but it still has 5 boards. Why does a newer Mario Party have 5 boards and they're all old boards?
the old boards is not what I have a problem with because these old boards are very good, very varied.
Yeah,
They're enjoyable.
the
Not
boards
like Super Mario Kart.
themselves. The board
And I agree with
themselves are not bad, but I'm talking about the fact that there are so few, especially if they're like 5
compared to
boards from the
older games.
classic Nintendo game. Why don't you just add all
Compared
of
to
them?
older games, yes, but 5 boards compared to Super's 4, I will take it, especially because Super's boards are very generic. They've
Yeah.
got themes, they're fine, but they're not exciting. These ones, they're each gonna have a different premise. They're bigger, they've got more to do. The mini games that they're bringing back are gonna be good. It is top 100. I think they heard the outcry that why isn't this on Switch? Where are the boards? And after Super came out, they're like, you know what? Hey, this seems like an easy way of making a new Mario Party, appease the fans, do
I,
this concept again.
why don't they just make a Mario Party? They call it Mario Party Superstars, but they have all N64 boards, all N64 games. You basically just call it like an N64 Mario Party remake. Like, doesn't that sound like a better idea than 5 random boards and 100 random mini games?
Then you were leaving out the GameCube fans, then the very few fans of 8. Like, I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. But I also think that if you do that, then they're going to be like, okay, where's the hell is the collection for the 4 GameCube Mario
And that
parties?
can be the next Mario Party because they used to release Mario parties
And you're
every
gonna
year.
and people are gonna complain that oh you're just reusing the same idea. Why don't you make a new one?
And they need a
I
Mario
think
Party Ultimate, unfortunately.
I get what you're saying. Oh, that's way too much to expect from Mario Party. But I get what you're saying because yes, these games do normally come out every year, every couple years. Frankly, I'm surprised it took 3 years to get this one.
And it's a
But I'm not.
remake.
It's not really because the mini games are different from the top 100. They're not just pulling the same exact ones. They're making an effort. I think ever since Super came out, they're making steps. And I'm really hoping the next one, whether it be on the Switch or the successor, goes back to the Mario Party 1 through 7 formula, new boards, new mini games, all that jazz.
Yeah.
Because it seems like they are listening. It's just, it's the Nintendo way where they're taking half a step, another half step, another half step.
Yeah.
But it looks good.
Bombshell time. Literally.
Yeah. Metroid.
I've never
Metroid
played a
Dread.
single Metroid game in my entire life.
How have you never played a single Metroid game? Metroid is so much fun.
I don't know. I tried to play Super when I got my. Wait, am I cutting out again? Wow, computer, you suck. Hello?
Yeah, you kind of
Okay.
zoned out for a second there.
So I tried to play Super on my NES Classic or SNES Classic. It just didn't do it for me. But then I recently watched over the entire series last week. Yeah, I watched every single game last week and I liked it. But here's a controversial opinion. I watched all of the 2D Metroid series, including Other M, and Other M is kind of good. Like the graphics are
Yeah,
amazing. The gameplay is all right. I mean, it could use a little bit of tweaking. Like if they remade it for a modern era, the gameplay just needs a few minor tweaks. It's basically
right.
2D Metroid games in 3D. And then you have the main critic with it, which is Samus and her personality, which honestly,
Mhm.
she didn't even seem that bad. She seemed very similar to the way that she was in Fusion, except for the fact that she was crying because her old mentor was gonna die. What is wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. She wasn't really even that emotional throughout the entire thing. Although, I do kind of see the controversial thing where it's like sexist or whatever, which I think they kind of leaned into that with the "Are you sure?" What is the quote from him? Like, any
I never
objections,
played Other
lady?
M, so
Any
right.
objections, lady? But I feel like they kind of they didn't really put too much pressure on that. Although, in my own personal opinion, I think they don't really need those little excerpts from Samus, but they did the same thing in Fusion. So, and
Mhm.
honestly, that's why I like 1, 2, Super, and the remakes because Samus doesn't talk at all. You're plopped into the game and you just go. Fusion is the one where you just go, back and forth between sectors, and she talks every 5 seconds. But they don't really need that for a new Metroid game. And basically, all that to say, Metroid Dread is looking really good. It has the quality of Metroid 2 remake, and I hope that Samus doesn't freaking talk in this.
I don't think she will.
But
But I'm really
everything
excited.
is looking good. It's looking scary. There's a Chozo in there apparently.
I'm really excited to see the future of Metroid on the Switch because it really feels like within the next couple years, we're getting Dread, we're going to get Prime 4. I think somewhere in between that, we're going to get the Prime trilogy. It's so nice to finally see Nintendo supporting Metroid again after all
Mm.
these years.
And Dread, I kind of say this again and again. It's looking really good. Like Metroid Samus Returns looked good, but it was a 3DS game, so it was limited. But
Right.
this looks like that, but 10 times better. Mercury
Yep.
Steam has done a great job.
I'm excited to play it in October.
Which there's something else
But
we're getting in October too, same day.
oh yeah, we'll talk about that next month.
Yeah.
All right, let's begin our mandatory E3 section of the new Just Dance title.
Woo! Everyone's buying it.
Woo!
Guess what? It's
Yeah,
not on Wii.
breaks my heart. I can't play it now. I haven't bought in the system since the Wii.
Who
It
are
still
you,
cracks
Mike?
me up that it still cracks me up that one year they did a Just Dance on the Wii and not the Wii U.
Yeah, it was last year, I think. It
Oh,
was it
it's
was 19
amazing.
or 2022. I don't remember.
Mhm.
Uh
I love it.
End of an era.
Uh, heartbreaking. Cruise and Blast. It's a
Cruising
sequel to
USA.
Cruise in USA. It looks
Never heard of
fun.
it.
I've heard of it. I've heard great things. I've never gotten the chance to play it myself. And this is finally them bringing over. I believe it was an arcade game.
Yeah.
So this is basically a port of an arcade title. It looks good. I'm gonna hopefully pick it up if I'm not too busy playing other things.
If I'm not mistaken, I think they misspelled it. In the description of that, like you can click on chapters for the
Mm.
Nintendo Direct, and it says CRUS apostrophe N
Mm.
instead of
Yeah, I'm gonna.
cruise. I spelt it wrong here too, but the apostrophe goes
Mm.
after the N, and
Right.
they forgot a letter.
Oh well, doesn't really matter all that much, but
I thought it was funny.
looks fun. I'm gonna pick it up if I can. But what I won't be picking up is Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Nope, I know for a fucking fact it ain't gonna run well on Switch. It is not gonna do it.
I'm not an anime fan, I will admit, so Dragon Ball is not something for me. I hope it runs well for the fans, but I don't care.
It's too little, too late anyway, too.
And we can kind of divert a little bit away from E3 for a second just to talk briefly about Mario Golf Super Rush.
Nope.
I assume you did not pick it up.
No. I'm waiting for a discount.
So as I've made it very clear on this series, I am a big Mario Golf fan. It is my favorite Mario sport. I get why people are complaining about lack of content because it is lacking in content from past games. But it is so good. And I will admit I am falling into the trap of, but there's free updates coming down the line, it's fine.
It's unfinished game.
It's not unfinished. It is lacking content, yes, it is not unfinished. I've heard the story mode ends abruptly. I haven't gotten there yet, so I can't really...
I haven't heard that.
I don't know what they mean by that, but I've heard that a few times.
Maybe there's story expansion too.
God. But the thing is, yeah, I believe World Tour on the 3DS had like 8 or 9 boards, which obviously is a few more than 6. Courses. Thank you.
But isn't there like a few worlds and then there's like different like holes per one?
Each course had the 18 holes. They did their own thing. It's basically just like Super Rushes. There was just more Mario-themed ones. Like, there was one based off of Woolly World. There was one based on Peach's Garden, stuff like that. And it seems like that's what we're getting with the DLC. But at least with this DLC, it's free. I think the one on the 3DS, it was like a $10, $20 DLC pack.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I played that one a ton. The boards were cool, but it was paid DLC.
I hope that they don't forget about Crafted World. They should do a Crafted World one.
Well, given we're seeing one based on Odyssey, I kind of hope they do some based off of like the Wii U Switch Mario games. That'd be really cool.
One based on the specific concrete court of Mario Kart. I mean Mario Golf. Wait, Mario Tennis World Tour. Wait,
Ace.
No, the other one, the Wii U one. Flash. Yeah, that concrete one, the only stage.
I want one based off of Tropical Freeze because there was one in World Tour that was based off of Returns, and it was so much
there's
fun.
a lot of Mario game spin-offs that talk about or that reference Returns, but not really Tropical Freeze that much.
Right. But that being said, I don't want to spend all day on Super Rush, especially right in the middle of the E3 segment, but as a Mario Golf fan, I'm having a great time with it. I've not felt burned, really enjoying it. If only Hyrule Warriors DLC wasn't taking up so much of my time that I could play more.
Yeah, I plan on waiting for a price drop, and then so I can pick up golf and then both party games.
Yeah. But anyways, Monster Hunter Stories 2, it just came out. Do you have any interest in this title?
No.
It looks fun. I haven't gotten into Monster Hunter at all, so I will not be picking this one up, but I've heard it's been getting pretty good reviews.
It looks like something more that I would play compared to base Monster Hunter, but I just haven't really had a chance to look at it.
There's so much coming out on Switch and so much in my backlog that I'm at the point where if I really don't want it and it's not made by Nintendo, I'm not picking it up.
Yeah, it's like finally, after getting nothing last year.
After Flash, you want to go into this today? I feel like you've got something to say.
Oh no, my computer's being weird again.
I was gonna say, do we need to talk about the 2022 lineup?
What do you mean? Yeah. We haven't even gotten into 2022 yet.
I know, but I said the next couple of years look bright for Nintendo.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that part.
Okay.
Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be the worst game of the generation.
100%. Splatoon 3 is going to be my game of the year.
It's just going to be a cash grab.
100%. Anyways, new WarioWare.
Yes. I've never played a single WarioWare in my life. However, I've always been intrigued by this series. And I'm glad this is co-op, so I can play it together or I can get it together with someone.
WarioWare is a lot of fun. I've played a bunch of Gold when it came out, but obviously the Switch was already out, so I didn't get too invested. But WarioWare is a lot of fun. The new one looks great. There's a bunch of... They're bringing back the Nintendo micro games again. There's like one based on the Nintendo Badge Arcade and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool. That's a small one.
It's really cool.
Where is my Wario Land? We're good. Okay. Ooh. My computer didn't explode yet. Okay. So,
Perfect.
Wii U port, a game that I forgot was on Wii U.
Fatal Frame is coming to the Switch. It is the 936th Wii U port over to Switch, and we now have like 3 realistic ones left.
Realistic wants. Of course, I want
Wants.
Smash 4 Definitive. Color
Devil
Splash.
and Color Splash.
Zombie U. The plethora of virtual the plethora of virtual console that's exclusive to Wii U. Nintendo Land might happen. I still can kind of see that. I don't
think it's going to happen. I think realistically, like sorry, Fatal Frame, we'll get to you in a second, but I think realistically the ones we're going to get is Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. I think those will either come in 2022 before Breath of the Wild or 2023, like 8 to 12 months after Breath of the Wild. Xenoblade X, and maybe Yoshi's Woolly World. I think that's all we're getting. I think.
Yeah. After 3D World, I kind of hope for crap. Because when they released Odyssey, so what they did is that they released either new games that are sequels to Wii U games, or they released ports. And when they released the sequels, I was just like throwing away the idea that ports were possible for previous entries. But then when they released, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive, and when they released, which I guess that's not a Wii U game, but still applies.
Hyrule Warriors.
Hyrule Warriors. Well, I don't count Hyrule Warriors either.
Not the same thing, but pretty damn close.
And colors, Paper Mario Odyssey. So when 3D World came out, I was like, okay, well maybe there's a chance for things like Paper Mario or Woolly World or Xenoblade X.
I think if they want like bottom of the barrel, they might get Paper Mario, they might get Star Fox, but I don't think we really need either of those.
No.
They'd be cool to have, but I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah.
Xenoblade is a highly requested one. The Zelda ports, why would you, out of all of the Wii U ports we've already gotten, why would you leave 2 3D Zelda games?
The only problem I see with that is there's 3 different. Am I cutting out again?
No, you're good.
Okay. There's 3 different things here. There's the sequels, there's the ports, and then there's remakes. So my ideology was I never thought that it was gonna happen because they were remakes already. And that's why I was like, okay, Skyward Sword kind of makes sense. It would happen eventually. Eventually did. And then before I was like, okay, I don't think the Twilight Princess Wind Waker thing is ever going to happen until people were like, oh, it's a dual pack. And I was like, okay, maybe that makes a little bit more sense.
Millions of us will buy them day one.
Yeah.
I don't know where that rumor began. I don't know why people thought it was going to be a dual pack. I bought into it too because of 35th anniversary. They're going to release those day and date, I think same day as each other, $60 a piece, and they're going to sell like hotcakes. People will be pissed. People will still buy it.
Mm-hmm.
But out of all the games, they are not going to bring... I know Fatal Frame isn't a Nintendo release, so that's not them.
It was before. I think Nintendo used to own that IP, and then now it's on... this new Fatal Frame port is going to be on all consoles.
They not tell me, just looking at all the Wii U ports they brought, that they're just going to ignore Xenoblade X and the Zelda remasters. I know they've been on older systems too, but they made that effort to remaster both of those games, and they're not going to leave it on a dead console when they brought over Captain Toad, for example.
Yeah.
They're all going to come to the Switch. It's just they're spreading them out over their life, and we get a new Zelda, at least one new Zelda release every single year.
Anyway, Fatal Frame's coming to other consoles, and cool. I don't really care about Fatal Frame.
I'm not picking it up. It's a cool horror game. Should have bought a Wii U.
Yeah.
I say that with every Wii U port. Anyways, the stuff that nobody cares about. Doom Eternal, Tony Hawk.
Doom Eternal cool. DLC was something that came out on Xbox and PlayStation a long time ago. They're just now coming to Switch, and it's a little late
They're
again.
Out. You can play them now. I've heard the DLC is good. I've heard Tony Hawk is good. I'm not interested in either.
Mm-hmm. Tony
Mario and
Hawk's, yeah.
Rabbids. Mario and Rabbids, they cannot catch a break even before it was revealed at Ubisoft's it leaked.
I don't like these games. They're not very good.
Yes, they are.
No. I've tried
The
the first one. It's
strategy is
horrible.
so good. It's so in depth. It's amazing.
And rabbits are still annoying.
Rabbids are absolutely annoying, but you know what? I got past them with Kingdom Battle. I am so excited for this new game.
Well, I'd rather have a Mario Muso than this.
Maybe one day. Right after Pikmin Muso and Xenoblade Muso.
Although people are speculating that the new final boss is actually evil Rosalina. Because we haven't seen actual Rosalina yet.
That would be so cool. And I think out of all the rabbits they brought that weren't in the first game, I think Rosalina was a great pick.
Mm-hmm.
But
what else do we... We don't even have any basic enemies, do we? We don't have Goomba Rabbids, Koopa Rabbids.
no, we saw I think we saw Bob-ombs and stuff in the Horde sections and the cinematic aspects of the trailer, but seems like they're going more in the Mushroom Kingdom enemy direction in the sequel. It looks beautiful. I'm so excited.
And the gameplay is different too.
Like the game. The gameplay is not that different. Yeah, it's more open and stuff, but it's still the same kind of combat you'd expect from the first game.
Where's my FPS Mario?
You just gotta get Bethesda to make a Doom spinoff with Mario.
No, Doom and Animal Crossing shooter.
Yes. And that's the only reason why I want Doom Guy and Smash, just so that crossover can become a reality.
I really want to believe that in the Sakurai Presents for Kazuya, it was when it was Kazuya and Isabelle. I really wanted that to be a reference to the Doom Animal Crossing
I know. But alright, Mario Rabbids comes out next year. Looks great. Time for the final segment of the Direct, which was the Zelda segment.
Yep. And wait, you forgot about Advance Wars.
Oh shoot, I did. Yeah, Advance Wars. The first two Advance Wars games from the GBA are being remade by
WayForward. Both 1, it's made by WayForward. 2, it looks good, and 3, it's a very interesting game to finally come to the Switch. But I'm not getting it. I don't really like tactical RPGs. So
that's fair. I'm absolutely picking it up just for the fact that I love that Nintendo, this year especially, they're bringing out their smaller IPs.
Mm-hmm. This is the Game Boy Advance Direct.
Apple. It's so cool. Seriously? You gonna do this now? Freaking car alarm going off. Anyways, but
yeah, this is the Game Boy Advance Direct. We got
yeah.
We got WarioWare, we got Advance Wars, we got I guess the Zelda Game & Watch if you want to count that. We got Mario Golf with a story mode. We got Metroid Dread. We got Mario Party, I guess technically if you want to count that.
Mario Party is not a handheld title. That Advance
I know
is garbage.
that. I know that. Mario Party E. Okay, now it's just time for them to reveal the Game Boy Advance Online.
That'll be the day. You know if they do that, it's just going to be the Game Boy Online.
Yeah. Okay, Zelda.
See for Age of Calamity, which brings a Guardian as a playable character and gives Link and Zelda new weapons, being the flail and the Master Cycle for Zelda.
Mm-hmm. You cut out again.
I'm back to playing it. I'm trying to 100% it. Very fun. I can't wait for Pack 2 to come out because that seems to be more substantial. Outside of that, they basically deconfirmed any other new Zelda projects in development for Zelda's 35th anniversary.
Yeah.
That sucked, but whatever. Here's a Game & Watch.
The Game & Watch is pretty cool because we did get 3 games in it this time. But I can't see for shit. The screen's so small.
They're games that we already have. I'm not saying it's stupid, because obviously it's a cool little thing to have.
It's a novelty.
I'm picking one up. It's a novelty, absolutely. But it's you're doing Zelda's 35th so dirty, Aonuma.
I think that they wanted to put all their development efforts on Breath of the Wild too, because I really don't think that they worked too hard on Skyward Sword. Like otherwise, we would have had new content in
But
it.
that's
But
the thing.
I think they were focusing all their efforts on Breath of the Wild 2. So they're just like, we don't really need to do anything this year for its
And I
35th.
get that. But Wind Waker HD is done. Twilight Princess HD wasn't even done by Nintendo. It was done by Tantalus.
I don't even know who that is, and I
They're
didn't even
based in
know that.
Australia. I have no idea who they are either.
I didn't even
So
know that
these
they did
games,
that.
yeah. So I understand it, but this, like, look at Mario. He got Paper Mario. He got 3D World. He got the collection, the Game and Watch. I don't want to come off as nitpicky here, but it's like, are you seriously gonna do your second biggest franchise this dirty? I'm not upset about it because yeah, Skyward Sword and we got Breath of the Wild. I don't know. I think they could have done the collection. I get why they didn't. But there's
Mm-hmm.
way too Zelda games are bigger than Mario games. You probably risk burnout. I digress. I'm not really that upset about it. I'm a little
However,
confused, I guess.
the stuff that we did get regarding Breath of the Wild 2 is actually pretty cool.
It
Um,
looks great. They
it
didn't
looks
show
great.
enough.
Unfortunately, Zelda is not playable, even though the entire time I thought that the sky section it was Zelda. I thought that was Zelda the whole time. But apparently, we're playing as a Link with no face, and the regular Link with a weird googly arm.
I really hope they kill Zelda off. I hate saying it, but I really hope the premise of the game
Why?
is to try and revive Zelda.
What?
Because I mean, she's falling. She's gonna die unless there's some magical little water pout thing at the end. She has a long fall. She's not gonna survive that if she's landing in anything but water.
I don't know.
I want to see her die again. Spirit
Again?
Tracks was she died in Spirit
Oh
Tracks.
yeah, but that didn't really count because
No, it didn't. And I want to genuinely see her die. I want an emotional story to try to bring her back. I don't know. I think it'd be cool.
uh, fairy fountain out of context. I want her to die.
I do. Let her die. Like, obviously, you're gonna bring her back at the end of the game, but
Yeah.
have her
Or
have
the way
that
where
emotion.
she falls is the Breath of the Wild version of Low Rule, and actually you're exploring 3 different versions of Hyrule: Sky
I would
Rule, Hyrule, and Low Rule slash Dark World as Zelda.
Well, that's the thing. If let's say Breath of the Wild 2 comes out at the very end of 2022, which I think is the most likely, it's going to have a longer development time than the original Breath of the Wild did, and they had to make an engine for Breath of the Wild. They had to make the entire world and all the assets from scratch. What are they doing that's making this
Well, a
development
lot of the
phase longer than the
Skyrule,
original?
assets are new.
Well, yeah, I know that, but still, they had the entire Hyrule, all of the character models. I'm sure they're being changed and altered, but you're telling me that they made the physics engine, the entire engine itself, the story, the world, all the shrines, in less time than it took
Wait,
them to
the
make an asset reusing sequel.
it was first revealed for the Wii U back in like 2013, right?
Yes, but it started development early 2013. It started development in early 2013. We got its first trailer in 14, and then it got released
So
in 20. So
13,
it was about a
14, 15,
4-year development
16,
cycle.
17, 5 year, 4 or 5 year.
4 years. 4 years.
And Breath of the Wild 2, I really don't think it started immediately after 1.
It started about August, September of 17.
I doubt how.
They started towards the end of DLC development.
Okay, so not 18, 19, 20, 21, so about the same. 22.
No, if it launches, let's say November of 2022, it's over 5 years compared to 4 years. And that's them not.
I don't know then. Maybe they just didn't work. Well, don't forget COVID too, because that could have
But
delayed a
they
little
still,
bit.
that's definitely slowed it down. But come on, it's still. We were thinking when this first was going to be revealed, this was coming out in 2020, not 2022.
I think it was
We
supposed
thought
to
this
come
was
out in 2020.
No, it was not. COVID did not delay it by 2 years. COVID delayed it by 6 months to a year at max.
So it was supposed to
Because
come out this year.
if it was truly meant to be out last holiday, which it wasn't, COVID would have delayed it by 6 months to a year, I think, at most. COVID did not delay it by 2 years.
I don't know.
I think this is going to be just a huge game. I I've mentioned this before. They've said they're taking influences from Red Dead 2.
If this really is a huge game and they're delaying it by that much, I really think the Switch Pro is coming out next year. I think this
We'll
OLED
see.
model. So my prediction, which I won't talk about too much about the OLED itself because we'll talk about that
Mhm.
next month, but all the leaks and stuff. So we hadn't really heard too much about the Switch Pro like since last year. All of these
Right.
rumors sort of just kind of bundled up after the Nintendo Direct in March and on the way toward E3. I think the leakers were getting them confused because they're like, oh,
100%.
Switch Pro, 4K, blah, blah, blah. But they were just saying that because they're like, oh, these are the same model, right? These are the same thing that we've been hearing about for years. I don't think so. And they're like, and now all of a sudden these new things about the OLED screen and the uh they were saying that's going to replace the original Switch. I was like, no, they're not going to replace the original Switch with the Pro model. They can't do that. However, the OLED model seems more like something that would replace the Switch because it seems like a Switch 2.0. It seems like a completely reestablished Switch with a new screen, new kickstand, things we've been complaining about for years minus Joy-Con drift.
Mhm.
This is literally a Switch 2.0, something that will eventually replace the original Switch, and then the
And we won't
Pro
go
will
that
come
far.
in. The Pro will come in next year, something that's again, like I say every time, it will be console only because the OLED is a hybrid and the Lite is portable only. This Pro will be 4K 60 FPS on screen. It'll still be a Switch. It'll be a Pro model, and it will be releasing next year alongside Breath of the Wild 2 because Legends Arceus still doesn't look very good, and I have a sneaking suspicion. Another thing too, a lot of the games that were showed at E3, especially Metroid Dread, I'm like, there is no way in fucking hell this is running on a Switch that good. There is no way,
Metroid
especially
Dread does
Breath of the
not
Wild
look
2.
that good. Metroid Dread looks like something that can run on a base Switch.
I
OLED,
highly
I
doubt it.
think, is the mid. OLED is the mid-gen refresh. I think somebody at Bloomberg got their wires crossed. They were hearing the early
Yeah.
talks of the next-gen Switch, which is going to have 4K, and everything that was going on with OLED. I think we could get a Pro in the next couple years. I don't think so. I think we're getting OLED this year, and we'll get the next generation Switch late 2023, 2024. That'll be the 4K model. That's the sequel. That'll give Switch a 7-year life, normal for a Nintendo system. It'll
No,
get support for a little while longer.
I really think that it won't. I think that the Pro model will come out next year, and then the next console will be like 2025, but it won't be a Switch. It'll be something different. It'll be
They're
and
sticking
the
with the
next
Switch.
gen.
It's too lucrative of a market.
No, I don't think it'll be. I think it'll be a hybrid, yes, but I don't think it'll be a Switch. I think it'll be
They're,
something new. Nintendo's gonna go back to their old ways and be like some weird ass gimmick.
I don't think so. I think the new president, bless a lot of soul, he was not the smartest when it came to consoles. The Wii was amazing, the DS was amazing, but he got his wires crossed. He thought people wanted another Wii when the bad was fading. The Switch is not fading. The Switch just has more room to grow, and I think Furukawa sees that. I think they're going to keep it going. We may actually get a Switch 2. I don't think they're going to be that generic with the title. I
Then
really think that they are going to have their gimmicky twists that Nintendo always has to have. But I
then
don't think they're going to go in a completely different direction.
at that rate, I mean, then again too, I don't. I'm having a harder and harder time foreseeing a next generation for any of the big three. I think that this or the next generation are the final generations. And honestly, if the Switch is this successful and all they really need to do is update it a little bit, and as time goes on, I think that the next generation Switch, maybe it's a power enhance, yes, but I think it still may be the Switch then at that point. They'll just keep doing the Switch for years and years.
But it's still going to have a different name. They're not. It might be the Switch something something, kind of like the Switch OLED.
Yeah,
They
so
might keep the
it'll
Switch
still be the
name.
Switch UI. Saying it won't be like a new console like you're
I
thinking.
don't think that's smart. There's Xbox and PlayStation have one more generation before that's it. Nintendo has two because Nintendo's always one generation behind them.
And another thing too, there won't be another next Xbox. The PS6 is
I don't think
probably
so.
going to happen, but I don't know what's going on with Sony. And Nintendo's either going to continue doing what they used to do all the time, like maybe they'll probably pull a 3DS when it comes to the Switch more than likely with all the different models. But then after that, I either see either something entirely new that's not hybrid or something that's just the Switch again, just more Switches, more different Switch
Switch
model.
2, Switch HD, Switch Electric Boogaloo. I don't care. Name it something.
But I don't like it's either gonna be Switch Pro next year and then next gen, or there's no such thing as a next gen. We're just gonna get an updated Switch and they're just gonna keep updating it every couple of years.
I have to remind myself that the DS got like 4 or 5 revisions, and this is
Yeah.
only the
Well,
third
I
revision of the
guess
Switch.
I guess they can pull a Game Boy Color DSi because DSi is technically a different generation to the DS. And my like so it was like,
That's comparing
and
to
the
the new
same thing with the
3DS
color.
though. It had like
No,
5 games.
like the new
Yes.
3DS is not another console. It's because
Neither was the DSi.
the
Neither
DSi
was the
was.
Game
It
Boy
had an
Color. The
entirely
Game
new
Boy Color.
UI. The
The
Game
Game
Boy
Boy Color
Color
at
maybe
least
not.
had some exclusive games. The DSi had like 3.
It's not
The
about just
DSi won
use
the same
exclusive
field.
game
No, it's
because
not.
the
The UI
UI is
doesn't matter. It
entirely
was
different.
still.
It's an entirely different console.
But notice how that didn't extend the DS's lifespan. It still got cut out 3 years later.
And the new 3DS didn't really do that much for it
No,
either.
it didn't. We can't compare these to the Game Boy because the Game Boy was 3 generations. You had the Game Boy, the Color, and the Advance. I agree, those are 3 separate systems. The DS, it was one line that got a massive revision with the DSi. Same goes with the 3DS and the new 3DS. But the DS went for 16 years, 17 years.
But if you look at a 3DS, so if you look at a DS and a DSi, I would think
You're
that they're
getting
different
way too
consoles.
stuck up on the UI. The UI does not matter. It did
Even
not
even the
give.
hardware itself is different. There's no
The
Game Boy
hardware is
slot.
so
And then the
yes, the new
3DS,
generation it took stuff out. Yes,
and then with the
it
new
was worse.
3DS and the 3DS, that's when I look at them side by side, this is the same
They are
thing.
the same hardware. Nintendo says that themselves by keeping the numbers the same. All the Game Boy numbers, hardware, are reported differently. The DS was kept the same, and same with the 3DS. I
Either
get what you
way,
mean, but new UI and new stuff being taken out. That's just a model change.
semantics aside, I still think that they're probably gonna pull a 3DS or a DS and have multiple different models of the Switch, and a
They
lot more
already
than
have. They
a,
already
a lot
have.
more than what we currently have.
And that's very possible. But remember, we are probably a few years out before the next generation. There's only so much they can do.
Yeah.
Can they do a Pro next year? Absolutely. Will they? We'll see. Honestly, I don't care. I'm going to buy it either way. I
Yeah.
buy every Switch model.
Yeah.
I haven't bought the likes. It's not worth it, but still.
I just don't think that they can end the Switch like this if they do next generation.
Like this? It's selling amazingly. It's
Well,
gonna
no,
be one of the
that's not what I mean.
best-selling
I mean,
systems.
not about the system itself. It's just so underpowered, especially even the OLED. They're like, oh, this is a new refresh model, but it's using
I
the
hate
same
saying it.
chip. It's
It
the same
doesn't
chip.
matter. If you have the sales, you either move on to another generation because the Switch Pro, you have to remember it's not going to get its own exclusive lineup of games from Nintendo.
No.
Third parties might take advantage of that. Nintendo's not going to risk that for
Yeah.
a very small fraction of their user base.
But that's what I'm saying. The Switch Pro would just be a part of the Nintendo Switch
Yes,
family
they
of
can absolutely
systems.
they can improve performance, but it's not going to change anything. The games are going to be the same
Yeah.
games because they have to make them for the base Switch. They may
Yeah.
run a little better on the Pro, but it's not going to change anything major.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
I know.
And then the Switch 2.0 that we're talking about next gen, I don't think like you're saying, if the Switch Pro comes out, 2 years from now, I just feel like at that point it's too late. You might as well just make a new console.
Exactly. And I'm betting on 2024. I think 2025 is too late, 2023 is too early. I think holiday 2024 is that really sweet spot.
And then
But I don't work at Nintendo. I don't know what their plan is.
and then after that they could just like I don't again like I said I don't know if they want to do a quote unquote next generation with a random gimmick or whatever. But if they could easily just keep making newer models of the Switch and making it even better. Like they don't even have
Right.
to release exclusive titles for it, and they can just make this the home of Nintendo at this point.
Yeah,
especially because they
absolutely.
aren't. And if they do want to make a new console, maybe they want to experiment with something new because the Switch hybrid model works well. So if they want to do something experimental, they can release another portable console if they wanted to.
I don't think they're that stupid. They can't go back to having two systems at once. The hybrid is they kind of backed themselves into a corner. If they make another dedicated console, people are going to be upset. If they make a dedicated handheld, people are going to be pissed.
And that's why I'm saying the Switch Pro will be or
I
docked
know,
only because it is just a part of the family of
and that
system.
will be just,
So
and
the
that'll
next
probably sell
generation,
similarly. Yes,
or
it
if
could be
they
an
release
option.
another model after that, like the Switch OLED, for example,
It's
then
an option.
it would be a
Yes,
hybrid. And so the Pro will just be that crazy new model, and then the next model after that, if they do another model after the Switch Pro,
and it's not
that'll
going to
just
be a
be another
crazy
hybrid.
model though. It's going to sell like the Switch Lite. It'll probably sell 15, 20 million. Like the hardcore fans will absolutely go for it. But the main people that are already on the Switch don't care about having the power. They want something they can play at home and on the go.
Yeah.
It is absolutely an option I think we should have, but I don't think it's one that Nintendo's going for, especially with how hard they've been pushing the handheld side of the
Yeah.
Switch.
And that's again
This
like my only problem with it because I don't really care too much about graphics per se, but the problem is that Nintendo is now locking themselves out of having games because Doom Eternal is a great example of this. It runs perfectly fine on the Switch, but who knows how much hell the developers had to go through to make it fit on a freaking cartridge. Like,
But that's the thing. It's selling so well, they don't care because they know the developers will go through the hassle because they know it's where the money's at.
hmm. And that's just
Panic Button especially. They practically exist to port games to the
yeah.
Switch.
And I mean the same thing with the Switch OLED. The fact that the Nvidia chip that they're using in the Switch OLED, it's going out. They're discontinuing it. So I don't know how
And
they're going to be able to sell
right,
more Switch OLEDs if that chip in particular is.
they might just have a huge like 50, 60 million order that they've just been collecting for the past couple years. I don't know.
I mean, they didn't even have to make a a better chip. They could have a similar chip and power,
Yeah.
and it
One
just
thing
replaces it because it's old.
one thing I think we're neglecting about the Switch Pro is cloud games. People are circumventing the power aspect of it by bringing cloud games. We've been getting more and more over the past couple
Yeah,
years.
but those games are horrible. They run like ass.
I absolutely agree,
They
but
run worse than
obviously
Doom Eternal.
obviously publishers are thinking that's the way of the future. Let's try it on the Switch. It's
And
pointless,
Scott the
but
Woz just released a new video about cloud gaming. Yes, it is the
it's the
future,
future.
but it's the future. That's it,
Yes, I absolutely agree.
we aren't at a place in society where we
No, we're
have a
not.
good enough connection. Like again, video games are a unique medium, but you know, if I watch a movie and it's at 144p or if I watch a video it's at 144p,
I'm
I
not gonna
don't
watch
really
it.
I mean, well, I don't really care that much because I can still kind of see what's going on.
Oh, I can't
However,
stand
well,
anything below 720.
really? I usually
I
watch
can't.
my YouTube videos at 360 if I'm on
I can't.
if I can if I'm watching it on data. If I'm watching it on Wi-Fi, more than likely I'll have 720 1080. But
I don't. If I can't watch it at 720, I don't watch it until I get home.
well, you can at least agree that it's quote unquote watchable, right? You can at
It's
least see what's going with
360, 480. Yes. Anything below that,
okay.
no.
Well, my point is that gaming is different. You
Yeah,
can't
absolutely.
you have to see every little detail well at
It's not
720.
even.
You have
It's
to
not
see
even the graphics. It's the
the
latency.
control. Yes, you
It's the input
control it
delay.
either. You can't
Exactly.
control it either. So, like when you're watching a video, it's playing back something that already has been made. Games, you sort of build a world as you're playing it. It's not just a maybe The Last of Us it would work because that's just a movie in game form, but Mario more specifically, you can't play Mario as a cloud game. Celeste, you can't play as a cloud game because it's very specific and niche in particular.
Right.
FPSs are a great example of this. So it could work in the future, but right now not everyone in the world has 5G panoramic gigablast. No one has that.
But that's the thing. They don't care. They're gonna take this risk because they can't get these games on the system. They're
Yeah.
like, okay, we want to try to make some money. we're not going to have Panic Button work on this for
Yeah.
2 years and spend who knows how much money for the risk of it not selling.
And
Throw a cloud version on, there you go, that's all you get.
Xbox, part of Xbox is actually doing a good job because Game Pass is sort of a Netflix style quote unquote cloud game, but you download the games instead. You download them, play them for a short time because now it's on your console. You don't have to worry about streaming it because it's right here in front of you. And, streaming your games through xCloud or whatever, it just doesn't work yet. We don't have universal perfect Wi-Fi yet.
Right. For an episode that's dedicated to E3,
I know.
feel like we've talked more about the Switch.
I know. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. I don't care. At the very beginning of July, they announced the Switch OLED. If anyone didn't know, we were going to talk about it next episode, but we already talked enough about Switch hardware speculation enough. Anyway, it has a better looking screen. The white Joy-Con, they look so good. They have a new dock with a LAN adapter thing embedded into the dock and a better kickstand. There we go. We talked about it. Are you happy?
I'm buying one. I can't wait.
Buying one.
Everyone else is angry
I'm buying
about
one
it,
day in with Metroid Dread. I'm buying them together, more than likely.
Yep.
And that will be my fourth Switch.
I don't even care about the new dock. I like the new dock. I don't care about the bigger screen. That kickstand, I'm here for it.
I honestly though, the screen on the Switch in portable mode is pretty bad. Like
it's not that bad, but having a bigger screen in OLED, it's gonna be amazing.
It's not just the bigger screen though. The bezel on the fucking Switch is like 4 inches thick. Like it's bad. Like it's like my phone. It's like look at this. Look at my phone's bezel.
Yeah.
But it's because it's a gimmick phone. But
right.
Like most smartphones and computers nowadays, they don't have a bezel anymore. So
I know. Mine doesn't have a bezel.
Yeah, exactly. So the Switch having such a thick ass bezel, and the screen, and also the screen's really weird too. It's like there's like a thick piece of glass in between it and the actual LED, and the OLED too is clearer. Like the Switch, the PS Vita probably looks better than base model Switch. So this new OLED.
IGN had a hands-on preview, and they said that it looks so much more vibrant.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, is the processor going to be able to handle all these colors and stuff? Because it barely can do it on the regular Switch. So at least if they had they didn't have a better one. It's just an updated processor inside of the Switch, so that it could process the game just a little bit better. Not 4K levels of crazy, just a little bit better. But they didn't do that. So especially because they need a little bit more power with the better screen. At least I think that's how it works. But it looks good too. But the only problem is right now, like we've been having computer issues. So one, I need to buy another computer. I've been planning on buying a PS5 for the longest time. I just bought an Animal Crossing Switch. So then I have to get this, not like a few months ago. And now I have to get the Switch OLED. And then recently I'm like, okay, maybe I should get an Xbox Series S. So now I have all these things I have to buy, which is like $4 billion.
Right. Well,
and don't forget I have to get Diamond and Pearl, both of them for $120, and Skyward Sword.
Well, I bought my Switch at launch, and I skipped out on the light because I'm like, I don't need this shit. I did upgrade my Switch, the new extended battery life model.
Yeah.
I gave my old Switch to my roommates, and I'm like, okay, this is upgrade number 3. I'm ready.
Yeah, so I didn't buy mine at launch. I got mine at like in June for my birthday. And then I got the Switch Lite for Christmas because I have every single model of Game Boy. I have every single model of DS and 3DS, so I have to have every single model of Switch too. But what I'm doing is that I'm playing all the quote unquote portable games on the Switch Lite. So Pokemon,
that makes sense.
Except for Let's Go. Let's Go is a console game to me because of I like playing with the Pokeball Plus. But Pokemon is on there. Link's Awakening is on there. And then all my console games, I usually play in docked mode. Sometimes if I'm, lazy, I'll go lay in bed with my Switch and play my console games in handheld mode. But most of the time if I'm playing like 3D World or something, I'd rather use a Pro Controller, So
Mhm.
And then all my multiplayer games are on the Switch Lite as well, just because or some of them, like for example Minecraft and Smash, I bought those twice. So I bought them digitally and physically. So then if someone wants to play and I ran out of controllers, don't know how I'd run out of controllers because I have every single Joy-Con known to man, or well, half of them.
You getting the
Half of them.
Skyward Sword ones?
Yes, I try to if they're not out of stock, but I'm gonna get the Skyward Sword ones and the white ones. But ironically, I don't even have the gray ones yet, so I need to get.
I don't have the colored ones.
And then don't forget, like you get the colored ones, but there's also the reversed ones too. There's the one that came with the console and the one that's exclusive just Joy-Con.
I don't like Joy-Cons, so I just normally don't buy them. The Zelda ones are the exception.
Yeah, but anyway, I have the games downloaded on my Lite so that other people can play too. But who's gonna play with me? I have no friends, so
that's the spirit.
I was kidding. But I have actually been playing Smash locally at my friend's house, or my coworker's house. So it's the first time I've actually played competitively in a while, other than Jet. You know Jet, right? On the other show. But when we play, he like gets infuriated. So we haven't really played because we get so mad at each other. So
yeah. Alrighty, this
I think we're done.
podcast has been going on for like 2.5 hours at this point. I know we've had issues.
Yeah.
But...
and now it's working smoothly after we're already done. So
of course, go figure.
I'm sorry this was a 2-hour episode. I'm sure no one's gonna watch it anyway. So
I'll spread it around, and it's E3, so maybe somebody.
Yeah.
Our E3 predictions did pretty well.
Really? I didn't really check.
Last I checked, they got like 50 views.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, we're done here.
Thank you guys for whoever sat through this. Thank you. Go stretch your legs, do something, because I know I want to.
Yeah. Go play Skyward Sword because it comes out on Friday. Well,
yeah.
Who knows when this video is going to go up, knowing my ass.
Anyways, come back to us next month to talk about something, now that we've talked about the Switch OLED.
Probably a Pokemon Presents. Wow, Presents.
Yeah, not to like jump back into the discussion here. I'm surprised we haven't gotten one of those yet.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that too. They showed off new gameplay in the Switch OLED trailer, which is one, surprising for Pokemon, and two, it actually looks good now. Well,
I don't care about that. I care about Splatoon.